Hi Weirdos, it's Darren. If you've been wondering why there haven't been any new episodes for the past few days, or at least not the content you'd expect from me on a daily basis, or why the YouTube channels have suddenly disappeared, or why things have gone strangely quiet around Weird Darkness, here's what's been happening. Over the weekend, I was the victim of a targeted attack. I don't have evidence that it was truly targeted, but after I tell you about it, you're probably going to say, yeah, that feels targeted. A few weeks ago, it was just my Gmail that got hacked, but I was able to get that back and I set up the safety protocols so it wouldn't happen again. Well, it happened again. And not only did they gain access to my Google account, they worked so fast they changed the backup email that I used, the phone number for SMS confirmations, and somehow, no idea how, they removed my requirements to use my own fingerprint to log in. So no biometrics either. How do you remove that? On top of that, at the very same moment, I'm serious, within seconds, my phone shut down and went back to factory settings, meaning I no longer had access to any of the saved files I had on that phone that I might have used, like getting backup codes so I could get back into Gmail, saved passwords, all of my Google contacts, everything. Somebody really doesn't like me. Was it something I said? Within a very short time, I lost access to my Gmail account, my YouTube channels, myriad other services that were connected to that Google account. I mean, just think about how many things you log into using your Gmail account because it's convenient. The attacker has locked me completely out of just about everything, including my Dropbox, which all of my files for Weird Darkness were stored in. I lost access to the tools that I use every day to produce Weird Darkness. The YouTube channel, it's currently unavailable because it's tied to that compromised Google account. If you've searched for Weird Darkness and you couldn't find it there on YouTube, or you noticed videos disappearing, that's why. That was not my decision. Google did that, probably because I told them once again I was hacked, and while they tried to figure it out, they decided not to let whoever hacked me have the channel. I have no idea what's going to happen from here on. Many of the other online services that I use, they were also connected through that same Google account, so this has affected just about everything. It's been a domino effect across every aspect of what I do and use to create and publish the show. And to make matters worse, some of the systems I rely on for producing and distributing episodes, they were suddenly inaccessible. So that means I couldn't finish editing, I couldn't upload new episodes, I couldn't publish them on schedule. Fortunately, I did have a lot of episodes already set to publish on their own, so at least I wasn't gone completely, but still. One thing I've always tried to do is to be dependable. Whether it's a daily episode, a live stream, the Sunday radio shows people hear around the nation, I want you to know that if I say something's coming, it's coming. So these last few days have been incredibly frustrating. I'll return to that in just a moment, the frustrating part. The good news is that while praying to God for some answers during all of this and going to bed last night because I had nothing to do but cry, He gave me an idea to try. And fortunately, the stories themselves are safe now, as are my templates, theme music, and various other items that I would need at a bare minimum to continue on. Thank you, Jesus, literally. After a few stressful days, I was able to recover the files that mattered the most. The scripts, the audio, the artwork, years of Weird Darkness content. I was able to save it. They weren't lost, at least not all of it at least. And now it's a simple matter of rebuilding access, replacing what needs replacing, getting everything back online. I'm also making some major changes behind the scenes so that this can never cripple Weird Darkness again. I thought I had the last time this happened, but apparently not. So I'm going to be moving away from relying so heavily on a single account, Gmail, or a single company, Google, for so much of the business. It's a hard lesson to learn, but I am taking this very seriously. It's going to take a long while to rebuild as well, so while I might be able to get back to work, it's going to be clunky in the beginning. You might notice that, and I would really appreciate you just being patient with me as I get things back up and running. I don't know yet whether the original YouTube channels will ever be recovered. I'm certainly trying. Google does have recovery procedures for compromised accounts and hacked YouTube channels, which I had to go through last time this happened. I'm working through every official avenue available, but this one is so severe in the way it happened, I'm going to move forward as if I will never regain access. If I do, great. If I don't, I'm working on that plan now. If those channels return, well, that's awesome. If not, well, they were demonetized by YouTube several months ago anyway when they decided that I sounded like an AI voice or was a content farm or heck, who knows. They never actually tell you or give you reasons. But the important thing is that Weird Darkness itself isn't going anywhere. Even without YouTube, you can still hear the show on the website at WeirdDarkness.com, or you can listen through numerous apps like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Overcast, CastBox, Pocket Casts, iHeartRadio, Pandora, TuneIn Radio, RSS Radio, all those other podcast listening apps. In the meantime, if you are hearing this episode, thank you for sticking with me, regardless of where you are listening right now or how you're listening. I truly appreciate you. If you know somebody who's been wondering where Weird Darkness disappeared to, please let them know what happened. Not everybody listens the same way, so some watch on YouTube, others only use the podcast apps, some only hear the Sunday radio program on actual radio stations around the country. So I would appreciate your help getting the word out, please. And if you happen to be somebody who prays, I would appreciate those prayers. This has been one of the most challenging weeks I've had in a long time, not because of the technology, although that is a huge part of it, but because Weird Darkness has always been about showing up for you every day, and suddenly I couldn't. This is where I want to get back to that frustration feeling I mentioned earlier. I went to a very, very, very dark place over this weekend. I have never once in my life been suicidal, ever. I've dealt with depression, but it never got that bad. Even when I broke down crying once and had no idea why I was doing so. But yesterday, early yesterday, I began thinking those thoughts. I wondered how I might be able to go home to heaven and be with the Lord and leave Robin with the life insurance money. It was a thought that only lasted a few minutes, but it was enough to scare me because I've never gone that direction in my mind ever. It showed me just how much I identify myself with what I do, not who I am. If your entire existence is only what you do for a living, then having all of that taken away from you, that feels worse than death. I'm a voice actor, a podcaster, a radio personality, all of that stuff, and that's what pays the bills. But more importantly, I'm a child of God with a purpose that He has for me. I wasn't thinking that yesterday. I'm a husband who's not only loved, but has the honor to be responsible for such a caring and wonderful woman. I wasn't thinking of that yesterday either. It was during this deep darkness that Robin asked me to come downstairs because she couldn't figure out the volume on her computer. It wasn't working. That's it. The stupid volume. She couldn't figure it out, though. That moment snapped me out of it. I realized if I was gone, she would be alone. No amount of insurance money fixes that problem. I'm not only loved by her, but I am needed by her. And I know a lot of you rely on me as well. What I do gives you a break from the real-world horrors by me presenting you with real-world horrors. We really are a weirdo family, aren't we? But I get it, because, the podcasts and shows that I listen to, regardless of the content, they're my way of escaping for a while, just turning my brain off from the stress and anxiety. And I know that I offer that for some people, and I don't want to take that away from you either. As I said, God has a purpose for me. I'm thinking that now. I was reminded. And it's also reminding me as I record this for you right now about Joseph's brothers selling him into slavery, meaning to do evil to him. But later, God used that for good. So that's the attitude that I need to take right now. And I hope when dark times come your way, you can do the same. Know that it's temporary, no matter how awful it feels, no matter how hopeless it seems. It's temporary. You'll come through it. And often you'll be a stronger person because of it. In the meantime, if you are in a horrible situation where you feel dark, as I did yesterday, reach out to someone, a spouse, a friend, a loved one, or visit WeirdDarkness.com/hope and find people there to talk to for free. It's a bit ironic that my mental health provider is through an app that I used Google to sign up for. So I got to start completely from scratch with that too. But it is important that I have it, obviously. And I'm already working on that because we all need a lifeline. In the meantime, Weird Darkness is getting back on its feet, so thank you for your patience, thank you for the encouragement, and thank you to all you spammers who decided to message me on Facebook saying that you can fix my hacking situation. You are all so thoughtful, he said sarcastically. Most of all, thank you who are hearing this for continuing to make Weird Darkness part of your life, allowing it to be a huge part of my life. Now let's step away from the real-world horrors for a little while and step into the Weird Darkness. Oh, wait. Sorry, I still got to post some episodes, don't I? Okay, well, I will get to work on that right now. See, getting back to normal already.